I had this terrible habit of succeeding with the minimal amount of effort. And it was a bad habit. And I know people are like that. Well, that's the goal. The goal is to succeed with minimal effort. Actually, no. The goal is to build sustaining legacy.
I am Phoenix Jackson, and after 18 years as an award-winning business leader, I'm here to share, guide, and inspire you on your journey upward and inward. I want you to live an empowered existence because you deserve it. This is a spiritual space for those seeking to make a difference in their lives and the lives of others. We will talk life design, healing, spirituality, and business. I'm sharing what I know to be true. Thank you for being here. Let's go within.
Give a little face. Okay. Hey, so welcome back. Oh my God, this is the 6th video. Are you trapped in me? Yeah, you are. Okay, you have long claws. It's time to get them cut. This is the 6th video. I'm like, okay, come through consistency. And that is what today's video is going to be about. The art of consistency. So I think I mentioned in a previous video that anytime I wanted to change a new habit or start something new or anything, I would rush out and just try to do everything at once instead of being more methodical and take one thing at a time. And then I also always found myself redoing things, perfecting things. Oh, that doesn't work. Let me fix this. Oh my God. You know what? Let me fix that. And I realized, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be done. It doesn't have to be beautifully something all the time, child. It just needs to be consistent. You all are going to see so many different iterations as I really unfold this over time. And it's just about me testing my own consistency and making sure that I can do it. I told myself for 2024, consistency is the name of the game for me. Meaning that if I can't be consistent with it, and if it doesn't feel good, I'm not going to do it. Did you hear that? If I can't be consistent with it, and it doesn't feel good, I'm not going to do it. We owe it to ourselves at these ages that we are. I don't know how old everyone is out there, but I'm just saying in general, we owe it to ourselves to attach our well-being and attach ourselves to things and people and circumstances that are going to uplift us, put us in a space that's going to be beautiful and enlightening for us, but also put us in a space where we're going to grow and put us in a space where we can learn to get those skill sets a little bit tighter, honey. And the skill sets for myself that I've needed to tighten up through the years was always consistency and structure. When I started my business in college, I was young. I was 19. I was engaged. We started the business sort of out of the market requesting it and people requesting the business because of what I had did for my fiance's company and elevating the brand and the website and all that. And early on, I never had consistency. So this is the thing, neither one of my parents taught me consistency. Neither one of them. And this is something that I can comfortably talk about today. And neither one of my parents taught me consistency. Neither one of them did. My dad, yes, he was a military man, but he was never consistent about anything but cooking. That's the only thing I saw him do every day consistently. He loved to cook. And again, it was something he was passionate about. But being consistent about going to a job every day, or being consistent about, doing something for himself that was healing, I didn't really see him do that. And then my mom, she was consistent at digging holes for herself. Her consistency showed itself in ways that it shouldn't have. So it's not real consistency. What she taught me though was determination. She taught me that you get up, you go get it. Whatever it is, you gotta survive, you gotta get up, you gotta go get it. I learned that from my mom. She is probably one of the most determined people I know. She's gonna make it happen. She's gonna find a way to get it done. That's who she is. Whereas my dad was kind of lazy, kind of lethargic, and he would get things done, but neither one of them had consistency. And I'm a mix of both of them. I'm very determined, but I'm also lazy. I said this in one of my AP classes in high school. They were what are 2 words to describe you? I was lazy but determined. Because I knew it then. I didn't attribute it to my parents at the time. I didn't realize that, but I knew that about myself. I was lazy but determined. All these years later, and I was damn, it didn't help that I never had a real job like since I was 19. So yeah, I had a job at like 16, 17, 18. Once I turned 19, like I always worked for myself and had clients, and had a business. I spent a year and a half at a university in various roles, but adjunct faculty and then business and IT counselor for those students. So, but like I was in all of that, I still had my company and still did what I wanted to do and still made my own hours and kind of moved around when I needed to. So what I learned was that I could just wing it and still get where I needed to go. Like I had this terrible habit of succeeding with the minimal amount of effort. And it was a bad habit. And I know people are like that. Well, that's the goal. The goal is to succeed with minimal effort. Actually, no. The goal is to build sustaining legacy. The goal is to build a level of self-actualization in your work where you are pristine in what you do. And with that comes consistency. I've just done enough to shine because my 20% is some people's 80%. But wow, what if I would have did my own 80% or 90% or 100%? Look, like I would be even further along. And consistency provides that. Consistency provides you the option of giving a higher percentage of yourself at any given time. I've started things, even with my own company. I started things that I didn't finish. I spent money on things that I didn't launch. Or if I did launch it, I tried it for like a couple of months and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. Because I wasn't used to having consistency and structure. And it's such a waste of time and it's such a waste of money to find yourself doing things like that. Like it's crazy. So I told myself I wanted a different result. I wanted a different result. Yes, I've been successful. Yes, I have everything that I need and a lot of that what I want. But there's some things that I've been asking for within myself and out of society and things that I need and require that I need to instill structure and consistency into my life to get. It's, there's things I want physically, more properties and, more travel and more everything without debt. I don't want to go into debt to live a certain lifestyle. Like I want to own everything that is mine. I don't want to be renting a lifestyle. And what I mean by renting a lifestyle is if you can't afford to pay for it cash, you're renting that lifestyle. If you have to use a credit card or have to use Klarna or whatever, you're renting that lifestyle. I don't want to have to do that for myself. And this is no shame on anybody else. This is just for me. For me, I do not want a rented lifestyle. I want a lifestyle that is bought, paid for, taken care of, and that I can consistently live in that lifestyle forever. I don't want to pay. I don't want to rent, nor do I want to even pay a mortgage all the time. My goal is to pay off my house in 5 years. My goal is to pay off my other house in another 2 years after that. It's like I don't want to have something that I'm going to have to pay on for the rest of my life. I want things that are full out owned and done, and all I got to do is upkeep and do the things that I need to do along the way to keep it, at a level of maintenance and high level of upkeep, but that's it. I don't want a rented or borrowed lifestyle. I want a lifestyle that's fully my own. And part of that means I have to be financially free to get there. And part of that means that since I've had all this success, but I'm still not financially free, what do I need to do differently is I have to add in levels of consistency and structure, more research, more time, self-focus, because I have what it is in me and you have it in you as well to manifest and to build the life that you want. But you have to figure out what is missing to get you there. And for me specifically, like I've said, this whole video has been consistency and structure, which to me, those two things go hand in hand. So now I want you to take this exercise and really think about for you, what do you need to instill in yourself to get to that next level that you're trying to get to? What do you need to do today and every day that's going to get you one step closer to where you need to get to? Because every decision and every movement is either closer to your goals or further away from your goals. So what is something you can do for yourself on a daily basis, or something you can add into your repertoire that is going to allow you to move towards becoming the best version of yourself. You have to start looking at yourself like a project. You have to start looking at yourself like a plan you need to execute. And you are the biggest plan that you need to execute. So you need to start looking at yourself like you need to strategize on yourself. What does your person need and want to expand themselves? Mine needed consistency and structure. What does yours need? Take a piece of paper and write that down. Write down just, hey, what is something I can really add in my life? And then I want you to think about, as you're journaling this, what do you need to change to add that into your life? Like for me, with the consistency piece, I had to cut out some of my distractions particularly. I had to say, okay, if I'm going to be consistent about expressing myself on camera, I'm going to have to pick days and pick times where I can knock out bulks of content. I have to pick times where I can edit and schedule everything. And I have to pick times where it wraps around the millions of other things that I have to do with work. And I have to be consistent about that. And I also said I have to consistently do something of physical self-care every day. So to me, physical self-care that would include yoga, meditation, working out, salt baths, yoni steams, nurturing my hair. That's one of my physical self-care. I have to do one thing of physical self-care every day, consistently. That is a part of the work too. What is one thing every day that I can do? And it's going to be different each day because I get bored easily. So what can I do differently each day that's going to feel good? And some people want to do the same thing every day, and that's fine too. If you want to add in the consistency of working out every day, okay, that's cool. I'm not adding that to my plate yet because listen, I'm trying to, and I'm gonna get there, but I know that's gonna come with time with me. I'm working on learning how to have consistency all the way around the board, because I can't expect for someone to be consistent with me if I'm not consistent with myself. I can't expect for someone to keep a promise to me if I don't keep promises to myself. So the work that I'm getting for you to do is about you becoming that highest self. It's about you becoming self-actualized into who and what you're supposed to be in this journey. And self-actualization is not about fitting into a mold or how spiritual you are, how religious you are. It's about you becoming more and more of who you are, because we all were born unique and different. And for me, my self-actualization comes through me learning consistency. What do you think your self-actualization is supposed to help you with? What do you need to get there? Think about it. And we'll be right back with our listener letter. So today's listener letter is by a guy named Sean. Interesting, because I have a really close friend named Sean. Okay, he said, "Dear Phoenix, I hope that you're having a good day. I'm writing you and I'm going to keep it short. I've been having issues with one of my parents for the last 7 years. They refuse to acknowledge the abuse that I endured as a child. My mom's brother molested me when I was young. And my mom refused to be understanding about it. She refused to admit that it happened. And she even refused to confront him about it. I don't know what to do with this situation. I don't know how to deal with this situation. I'm 23 years old and I don't live on my own. I can't afford to live on my own, so I'm kind of stuck in this house with her, with this looming reality hanging over both of us. Any advice is great." Well, dang. First off, that's deep, but that's real because people go through this. First, I want to say that I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm sorry that what you endured happened to you. I'm sorry that someone felt the need or the desire to violate you in an effort to please themselves. That they felt the need or a desire to take something from you because maybe something was taken from them. One thing that I have learned in my research through the years is that people who abuse were abused. And there are people who abuse who were never abused, but then there's more than likely people who were abused, physical, sexual, mental, emotional, it happened to them. And they haven't found a way to dissociate or to disconnect their identity from that abuse, and so they end up abusing somebody else. So the first thing I want to ask for you to do, and I know it's hard, the first thing I'm going to ask for you to do is to have compassion. Have compassion for yourself first, because a lot of times people who are abused, they put a lot of the issue on them of what they could have done differently or what they did do or didn't do. And I want you to have compassion that it is not you. It's not you. As a child, as a minor, it's the behest of the adults around you to protect you, to make sure that nothing happens to you, to be a steward of your safety, a steward of your safety on every level, mental, emotional, your sexual safety, everything. So completely remove yourself from any blame that you may have. Next, I want you to also, and this is going to be a hard one, but I want you to have compassion for your mother, because she, like a lot of parents of this past generation and current generations, they are stuck in a level of survival mode. They haven't learned how to connect to their own emotions. They haven't learned how to see things beyond their own personal experiences. A lot of times they don't know what to do when something traumatic happens even to their children. They don't know how to respond. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's real because they probably haven't dealt with their own stuff. They probably haven't dealt with if they were abused. They probably haven't dealt with and faced up to any issues that have happened in their childhood. It's hard for somebody to honor you and honor your abuse and honor what you experienced if they haven't honored and pampered and loved on and embraced that inner child in them that was abused too. I bet you your mother was probably abused too, and she never shared with you what happened. And if she wasn't abused, she is just one of those adults out there who do not have the words, the tools, the insight to help you heal. So the only way she knows how to deal with it is to not deal with it. A lot of people choose to not deal with things that are so painful because they're afraid of how they're going to react if they do feel it, if they do deal with it. People really do have the fight or flight mode. They're going to run in one direction or not based on what kicks in. It sounds like your mother had a flight mechanism. Her way of dealing with it is to not deal with it. So I want you to have compassion for her, because someone taught her that mechanism, or she learned that mechanism in life, and that's all she knows. She doesn't know how to stand there and fight in a situation like this. In a situation like this, to fight means to stand next to your child, to disconnect from the person if they have not been accountable for what they've done to you, and to take your child and get counseling, get healing. And if you can't afford therapy, to go to your church, a synagogue, a Buddhist temple, a mosque, to go to a coach. If you can't afford therapy, go to someone who can help bridge you. And there are many people in free services out there for people who have been abused. You live in the house with your mom, and she doesn't want to acknowledge what has happened to you. One, I would say that I want you to work on manifesting moving out of that space, because you shouldn't be in a space that you can't heal. It's going to be hard for you to heal if the very person who's supposed to have protected you and been around you is not acknowledging that she failed at protecting you. So the first thing that I think you need to do is think of ways that you can create some multiple streams of income. Really think of ways in which you can get out of that environment, because it's going to be harder for you to heal in that environment. Second, I want you to sit your mom down and tell her that you have something for her. I want you to write a letter before you do this. And in that letter, I want you to, dear mom, I write a whole letter to her about what happened to you in detail. Write the letter of how it felt when she did not listen to you. And also in the email, in the letter, by saying, this is what we can do together to heal together. Tell her what you need from her. Give her instruction of how it can be fixed, at least emotionally, together between you two. What can you guys do together to help heal each other? Maybe you can help her heal from her childhood stuff that she doesn't want to acknowledge. If she's never been through anything in her childhood, maybe you could show her how to help you heal and deal. And one of the ways is to have a conversation, have acknowledgement. Tell her you need her to read your letter. And you sit there and watch her read that letter. And once you guys have gone through it, then you talk about it. Hopefully she's open to talk and say, Mom, this is not an attack on you, but this really happened. And I just want you to acknowledge and understand that this happened to me. That I don't blame you. I wish some things could have been different, but from this point forward, things can be different. And really do something every day with your mom to show that you are on a path of healing with her. Hug her once a day. Cook for her. Let her cook for you. You know, let her take you places. Y'all spend some alone time together. Y'all go sit in nature together. Something. Do something together, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's y'all praying together. Do something together to tighten and reset the bond and the connection. And still, I need you to also really focus on manifesting to live alone. Because yes, you can heal in that space, but you will heal a lot faster on your own. And then you can start to attract situations to sort of heal you, and you can live freer. Because as a 23-year-old living free, 24, 25 living free on your own, I think you can learn a lot about yourself, and a lot of exciting things can happen because you will be more out in the world and you won't be sheltered by that feminine energy that you have been under your whole life. All right? I know I just shared a lot, but it's a start, and I want you to follow up with me and let me know how things are going with that space. I'm telling you to do something that I have directly done. All right? And that could be a whole nother episode, but good luck with it, and I hope that you are able to find solace and peace with your mother as you guys go on this trajectory of healing. It's not going to be easy, but it is necessary. Thank you, Sean. And thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe. There's going to be more content coming out. And also, you know, hit that listener letter, man. I'll put the email into the description. Let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, things you want to add, or letters you want to send, and I will be sure to toss them in there. I appreciate you so much, and I thank you again for watching. Please have a phenomenal week ahead, weekend into your week, and I pray that things are continuing to work out for the betterment of you as you move and as you build. All right? Thank you for